All right, what's going on? Hopefully you can hear me. Welcome back. Really quickly, just wanted to go through this with you all. I started watching like a little bit of it, but I wanted to go through with you. Welcome back. This is Ola coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. This is breaking. I started watching a little bit of it, but I wanted to watch it with you. So welcome. Do me a favor, hit that like button as you're coming in. We're going to review this announcement with the police together, and then we'll take it from there. We'll talk about relationships from a power standpoint here. So yeah, as time goes on, you will see how it fits in. But let's get into it. Let me see. All right, we do have this here to talk about today. Let's see what the police has to say. Apparently, they have some news, and let's take it from there. I'll be reacting as time goes on. This is TVC. All right, great. Let's get into it.
You will have to, before I start, you have to pass because this might be the comparatively longest media briefing. It's not too long, but it's not like our usual.
Let me turn the music down low.
Good afternoon once again. This is a press briefing by the CP, Lagos State CP Gowon on the interim investigation report into the unfortunate death of Ileri Oluwaladimeji Aloba, aka Mohbad. Gentlemen of the press, you will recall that the unfortunate death of Ileri Oluwaladimeji Aloba, aka Mohbad, on 12 September 2023 triggered widely held suspicions of the circumstances of his death and allegations of complicity of some personalities in the process. In consequence, I inaugurated a special investigation team with the main task of undertaking a detailed, professional, fair, transparent, rule of law guided, and evidence-led homicide investigation. The end goal of this initiative is not only to unravel the circumstances of the singer's death, but to deliver justice for Mohbad. I had, while inaugurating the special investigation team, projected a 2-week timeline for the perfection of the police interim investigation report, with the assurance that members of the public will be kept abreast of the investigative progress as much as legally and professionally permissible. I can today confirm that the police interim investigation report is now ready, and this media briefing is being undertaken in fulfillment of our assurances to keep Lagosians, Nigerians, and indeed the international community abreast of the status of the case. This briefing therefore focuses on police investigative actions.
All right, so really quickly, just in case you're wondering what we're talking about, let me just make sure that audio is good. All right, great. I think it should be fine. But what we're talking about is Mohbad, who passed away on September 12th. A young man, 27 years old, one of the Afrobeat's upcoming superstars. He passed away. And there's a lot of suspicious activities around his passing. All right, just wanted to make sure that audio is good. A lot of suspicious activities around his passing. Many people have been pointing fingers at a lot of different suspects, including his wife, his father, some other guys, Sam Larry, Naira Marley, his former label mates. That's what we're talking about. So the police, for the first time, is actually giving like a detail what they've found in their investigations. So that's what we're listening to, just in case you're wondering. All right, let's get back to it.
since the investigation commenced. The interim findings on the strength of facts and of evidential value so far established, and grounds pending further actions in guiding the investigation to conclusion. The investigation process was directed at addressing two fundamental questions. Firstly, what are the immediate chain of events that occasioned the death of Mohbad? Secondly, who are the actors that could, within the context of extant criminal law and procedures, be evidentially held criminally liable, either individually or jointly for the death of Mohbad on 12 September 2023. In addressing the later components of these questions, due investigative actions were focused on the allegations of possible complicity in the death of Mohbad by Abdulaziz Adeshina, aka Naira Marley, and Samson Erifolami Balogun, aka Sam Larry, who both were widely alleged in the social media of conspiring to serially bully and assault the deceased in his lifetime. It also focuses on allegations on the social media that the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency could be complicit in his death following a viral video in which the late singer raised the narrative of his experience while in custody of the agency prior to his death. The intent of this component of the investigation is to establish if there is any evidential proof to circumstantially or directly link the allegations against Naira Marley, Sam Larry, and NDLA to the eventual death of Mohbad on 12 September 2023. Police investigative actions. Following the inauguration of the Special Investigation Team, detectives have undertaken the following actions and covered the underlisted investigative grounds. 1. Identification and interview of vital witnesses. As of today, a total of 26 vital witnesses, including the complainant, have so far been identified and interviewed, and statements recorded by detectives from them in the date of the investigations. These include the following: Mr. Aloba Joseph Oluwabamiwo, the father of the deceased; Mrs. Abosede Aloba, mother of the deceased; Mrs. Kolawole Kemi Bose, deceased sister; Miss Aloba Blessing Oluwaseun, deceased sister; Mr. Aloba Adura Beni Shepherd, deceased brother; Mrs. Cynthia Adebanjo, deceased wife; Ms. Sheyi Awonuga, deceased manager; Ms. Adeyemo Oluwatife, aka Darosha, deceased personal assistant; Mr. Ajishegiri Sultan Ayobami, deceased DJ; Olarewaju Idris Adedoja, deceased personal photographer; Mr. Idris Busari, deceased friend; Aderinto Ademola, aka Ade West, deceased friend; Mr. Adeyemi Olamide, deceased friend; Oladapo Oreoluwa, aka Lifestyle, deceased friend; Adesoya Adebiyi Dolapo, aka Ajay Singh, deceased friend; Fidelis Esabon is the driver to the Prado Jeep that the deceased hired to attend the concert in Ikorodu on 10 September 23, and in an attempt to punch Ibrahim during their physical brawl, Mohbad hit and broke the rear side glass, causing him injury on his right hand. For those of you that would be interested in, you can look at the picture. That's the picture of the vehicle, the damage that led to the injury on Mohbad. Okay, you can circulate. Mr. Soso Soberekon He's the show promoter who invited Mohbad to perform at Ikorodu to promote his product, the General Bitters, on the night of 10 September 23, where the fight that led to the injury and subsequent chains of events started from. He has given detailed statements. Mr. Omoni Temidayo Raphael, aka Zlatan, he was one of the musicians that performed at the same event in Ikorodu on that night. Engineer Chinaka Jesse is the deceased neighbor whose vehicle was used to rush him to the hospital when he became unconscious. Dr. Olushola Joshua is the medical director of Kuramed Hospital in Lekki, Lagos, where the deceased was taken to and declared as confirmed as brought in dead on 12th September 2023. Dr. Beke Deborah Oluwatosin is the medical director.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. Not to say I'm confused. Hey, D-Love. You too. Which part are you confused about? We kind of started because I wanted to just go live really quickly. Welcome. Who was unconscious? I don't think they got to that part yet. He was trying to punch somebody, and then he punched the glass of a car. That's what I picked up so far. But let's keep going. If we have to, we'll revisit some of the issues. Okay. All right. Let's keep going.
Who was on duty, and he was one that certified the deceased dead on the day he was brought in at about 15-20 hours. Ms. Fajulube Semitope, Ms. Abbas Aminat Abiola, and Mr. Oluwajobi Emmanuel. They are all staff of Kuramed Hospital who also witnessed when he was brought in there.
Well, it was, I think they mentioned in terms of unconscious, I think they said it was brought in unconscious, right? We're gonna get through the nurse who actually gave 3 injections that created the chain reaction that led to his demise, the auxiliary nurse. We're gonna get to that too, okay? So let's just keep listening to this for now.
Dr. Owala Chigode is the director and the CMD of Perez Medical Care in Lekki. When they took him to the first hospital, the Kuramed, and he was certified dead, his family members and friends that took him there were not convinced. So they took the body from there again to Perez Hospital, where he was recertified as dead. Then Dr. Temitope Maxine Olumuyiwa, he is the medical director of Cornerstone Hospital at Kute, Ogun State, where the principal suspect, Feisayo Ogedengbe, claimed to have been trained as an auxiliary nurse.
Let me stay unmuted just in case. Auxiliary nurse will be here in the United States like LPN, right? Like trained LPN, more like what's the other name that they call them? Nursing aid, right? I think that's what that is. Yeah, I think that's what auxiliary nurses are in Nigeria. Correct me if I'm wrong, but let me know if that's more like it. Let's keep going.
Written testimonies of the witnesses are likely of high evidential value, and they have aided in establishing the sequence of events leading to the death of Mohbad, the identification of the suspects, and the roles each played. They have also aided in gaining a clearer insight into the allegations of assault and bullying leveled against Sam Larry and Naira Marley. Suspects: 5 suspects have so far been identified, arrested, and detained and interrogated on their alleged roles in the sequence of events that led to the
So note this, 5 suspects.
summary is as follows. Ms. Feyi Sayo Ogedengbe is the auxiliary nurse who was contacted and invited by Yobani Sadiq, aka Spending, a friend of Mohbad, on 11 September 2023 to treat the singer at the deceased residence in Lekki. A friend of Mohbad on 11 September 2023 to treat the singer at the deceased residence.
All right, so this part right here, this few seconds is the part that I heard on Instablog Nigeria that made me decide, you know what, let's come and review this together. Okay. No auxiliary nurses are equivalent of nurses aides. Are they or are they not? LPN are licensed to give treatment. So help me out. I'm not clear yet. Please help me. What's CHHA, CNA? What is that? I know CNA is a type of training. I get that, right? CNA, what's the full meaning of CNA? Can you spell that out? Certified Nurse Assistant, Nursing Assistant. That's what I wanted to say. But I think they also call them nursing aides, no? Is that different? Correct me, please. Certified Nurse Assistant is CNA. Yes, they're certified. Are they certified to give treatment? And I'm talking particularly United States, because I know it varies depending on where you go, right? Okay, Natu says, no, auxiliary nurse is the same level with LPN, believe it or not. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. That's what auxiliary nurse is, right? So, and she was trained. Some states use assistants, some states use aides. Exactly, that's what I thought. Okay, thank you for that. But I'm missing something. I think I'm missing something here. ABJ is trying to say something. Okay. Auxiliary nurses are like assistants. Okay, nurses assistant. Okay, so they're nursing aides. So what's LPN? LPN is licensed practitioner. What's LPN? And LPN is different from RN because RN has degrees. They have actual degrees, right? LPN don't necessarily have degrees, but they're certified nurses that can give treatments, right? Is that what we're getting here? Hold on one second. Let me see. CNA do not give treatment. Okay, yes, I agree. CNA do not give treatment. They just basically, but they administer medicines though, right? Not injections. CNA are not to administer injections. They don't touch, but they can give medicines though, right? Am I correct? Auxiliary nurse is certified to give treatment. It is a 3-year school for the auxiliary nurse. So, that's in Nigeria, right? That's why I think they're equivalent to CNAs, right? Licensed practitioner nurse, licensed practice nurse. Okay, that's LPN, but they might not have a degree, right? Like a nursing degree, right? That's the difference, right? Well, registered nurses, they pass the board, the nursing board thing, right? Licensed vocational nurse. Okay, LVN. Where is this? Where is LVN? I never heard of LVN before. LPNs can give medications but can't administer things like blood or assess patients. Yes. Okay, that's making sense. All right, let's keep going at it. Right? So I just started listening with you guys. This is what I heard. This part is what I heard on Instablog Nigeria, that I decided to stop it and just come and review with you guys. Okay.
Actually came on Tuesday, 12 September 2023, and administered 3 different injections.
Sorry, I need you to note that they called her a day before. She didn't come until, Nigerians, they just, I know a nurse, let's call a nurse over, right? And she administered 3 injections at home. Ouch. Okay, I know to some of you, like, why would that? Well, that's Nigeria. It's been happening forever, okay? When I was a baby, when I was younger, 7, 6 years, our neighbor was a nurse, so I think she was just a nurse, right? And I'll just call her Mommy Tosin, since there are many Tosins, right? Yeah, she was, and she gave us injection if we were a little sick, malaria, she gave us injection in her flat, the bus cutter part of the house. All right, so I don't know if they still do that in Nigeria. This was in Akure, so I don't know. I'm just saying that happened. I don't know if it still happens. Okay, let's continue.
Believed to have occasioned the chain of reactions that directly resulted in the eventual death of the singer. She is the principal suspect in the death of Mohbad. She acknowledged that it was the injections that she administered on the deceased that triggered the reactions which eventually led to Mohbad's death. Other expert opinions and witnesses' statements corroborated her admittance. Her actions of administering
Got you, ABJ, got you.
Paracetamol, intravenous, and cetrazone injection, which was also administered intravenous on Mohbad at his residence, that's Mohbad's residence, on 12 September.
At home.
Immediately triggered the reactions, including vomiting,
Immediately.
goosebumps, and convulsion that eventually resulted in the singer's death.
All right, so somebody kept, was it D-Love? Somebody kept, on the first day we covered it, somebody kept saying there's probably no vitals that was taken, nobody checked anything, they probably just gave injections. Somebody, that person is on point from what I can just picture right now, okay? Like, there's no resource to do that, right? Injection, oh, you showed this symptom, okay, injection. They do it a lot in Nigeria. And also, I'm looking at Rosa Resources. Shout out to you. Said she's being used as a scapegoat. Okay, interesting take. And she says sounds like he may have had unknown allergic reaction. Most people are allergic to penicillin. I was as a baby, and I always tell everybody that I am allergic to penicillin. As an adult, you know, I've had moments where I probably shouldn't say that anymore, but to be safe, I just tell people I'm allergic to penicillin, right? So where did ear infection come from? That's a good question, right? Instablog Niger. That's a good question. MOP, true. Our parents would send us to go buy antibiotics and other meds from the street hawker. Can you imagine? These are prescription medicines. Yes, exactly. Nigerian nurses and injections now 5 and 6. Regardless if they are auxiliary or not. Okay, remember immediately the board of nurses in Lagos already said this person is not a part of us. Well, she was trained in Ogun State as auxiliary nurse, so we're getting there small. Okay, I think it went to anaphylactic shock. It went through anaphylactic shock from the reaction. I wonder what that is. Can you break that down for us? Let's continue.
This criminal liability is further heightened granted the evidential fact that as an auxiliary nurse, she's not qualified to administer such medications or function as a qualified nurse. She also did this in a non-clinical environment and in a professionally negligent manner that negated standard medical protocols. 2. Mr. Ayobami Sodiq, aka Spending. Sodiq is a friend to Mohbad who invited the auxiliary nurse to treat the deceased. He's been suspected of conspiracy in the death of the singer.
Oh, wow.
His action in inviting a person known to him as an auxiliary nurse to attend to the deceased under a non-clinical setting occasioned Mohbad's death. He's being held for conspiracy to commit felony.
All right, so let's note that name, Spending. His name is Spending. Let's note that name as we'll continue to listen to this. Let's keep noting that, okay? Spending. All right, let's continue.
Ibrahim Oluwatosin Owodunni, aka Prime Boy. He's a childhood friend of Mohbad. He attended the show at Ikorodu in Mohbad'S.
They're talking about Prime Boy now, okay?
On 10 September 2023. At the end of the show, Mohbad and Ibrahim were engaged in a violent fight, during which Mohbad was injured.
Uh-oh.
The management of the injury subsequently resulted in his death. So he's being treated as a suspect.
Uh-oh.
Samson.
That's Prime Boy.
A Eletu, aka Sam Larry, is a suspect who was arrested on allegation of being complicit in the death, as well as in relation to the videos that have gone viral about bullying and assault, which in some quarters we believe perhaps had any link with his eventual death. He was arrested, he's still in detention. Abdulaziz Fashola, aka Naramali, was also arrested and is still currently in detention for similar allegations. Other actions that have been undertaken by the Special Investigation Team include exhumation, autopsy, and toxicology tests, which were undertaken on 21st September 2023. The results of the autopsy and the toxicology tests are being awaited. Investigation.
All right, there you have it. They're still waiting for the toxicology and autopsy test. Spending, right? Prime Boy. I thought they said 5. Sam Larry, Naramali. Well, and the nurse. Okay, the nurse is, what's her name again? Yemisi Ogedengbe. Is that her name? Right? Yemisi Ogedengbe. All right, so I think those are the 5 suspects right there. Let me see here. Yvette, hey Yvette, how are you? Spending will be spending time in prison. Wahala. Why would she administer injection if she didn't do prior test and didn't get instructions from the doctor? Patricia, were you raised in Nigeria, Patricia? I'm asking for somebody. Let me know. Let me know if you were raised in Nigeria, and particularly if you were raised in the, I doubt it. I was going to say in the 90s or the 2000s, right? Anaphylactic shock is a severe, potentially life-threatening allergic reaction that can develop rapidly after medication administration and can lead to death within few minutes. Yikes. Ouch. Did you hear that line? They are trying to exonerate Sam Larry and Naira. Tell us what was the line. Well, they said they are suspects, right? Tell us what line you heard. Let me know. I need to hear that. Administering medication without a doctor's order is a no. Miss Angie, let me ask you the same question. Were you raised in Nigeria by any chance in the 90s or at least 2000s? 80s? The order was given by the parent. What do you mean? By the neighbor. How I wish the autopsy was done by an Abroadian. Wahala. Roro. Sam Larry and Naira's crime was bullying. Share Unade here. Oh, that part. Right. They were accused of bullying. Well, until they link it now, they have to link it. But nurse, remember, they are suspicious of conspiracy, some kind of conspiracy. If they're not directly linked to it, that's probably all they can end up with, right? But nurse don't agree. Say na injection, na her injection. Who told her to say that? Exactly. That's a good question. Does she have a lawyer, right? But she's talking about chain reaction. She's talking about what she could see, right? I was raised in Houston, Texas. Patricia, I knew it. Yeah, you need an actual order, paper, particularly paper order, or at least some kind of electrically linked order to a pharmacy, right? Yeah, the way we were raised was quite different, a little bit different, right? She was probably bullied by the bullies. Wahala. Possibly. Anaphylactic shock, it could be stopped with a particular injection called EpiPen, which they do not have at home. Exactly what. This is why they need to be in a clinical environment, or to at least have a board certified nurse, like LPN, RN, at least, before they can touch people's body with something that goes into the veins immediately. I sure was raised in the 80s in Nigeria, Miss Angie. Oh, okay, so you know what we mean, right? You know exactly. So you know you have best of both worlds. But this is why they need us in Nigeria, right? For this kind of things. You can't reverse this kind of stuff, right? Epinephrine. Got you. Yes, I was hoping the autopsy was done by outsiders. Don't trust this. Let's continue. Let's.
Some letters will also dispatched officially to National Drug and Law Enforcement Agency with a view to getting the official representation on the allegations raised in one of the videos by the deceased about his experience when he was arrested. We also forwarded investigation letters to Nigeria Medical Association, the Pharmacists Council of Nigeria, with a view to getting their expert opinion on the conduct and processes of the principal suspect, the auxiliary nurse, attending to Mohbad. Letters were also dispatched to the CMD, Cornerstone Hospital, Akute, Ogun State, to clarify the role of the hospital in the training of the principal suspects. And from the inquiries, we discovered that she's not just an auxiliary nurse. Currently, she has no job, so she operates from home. To attend to anybody.
All right, you heard that? She has no job currently. She operates from home. Wait, another question. What pharmacy is selling this stuff to her to come and be administering on patients, right? That's another question. Let's keep going.
She's a quack. Our own definition.
She's a quack in reality. Oh my God, she's going to jail. Oh Lord, oh God.
We also dispatched to Nigeria Immigration Service with a view to confirming the travel history of some of the suspects, particularly Naira Marley and Sam Larry. Investigation was extended also to CMD Kuramed Hospital and the CMD Perez Hospital, where the late singer was taken to as they brought in dead. Statements were recorded from them and their staff. Crime scene visits. Detectives have also visited the residence of the deceased at Lekki. The intention was to review the CCTV footage in the house. Unfortunately, the CCTV was out of order.
Oh God. No CCTV.
However, the visits led to the recovery of remnants of drugs and injections and other test kits administered by the auxiliary nurse, including 1 tetanus toxin injection, 3 used syringes, 2 used syringes filled with suspected medicine contents, 1 packet of cetrazone solution, procaine penicillin injection, empty broken pack of diclofenac injection, paracetamol diluted with water, water for injection, 6 hand gloves, 1 bandage, 1 plaster, and 1 iodine solution.
Jesus.
Also separately recovered is the mobile phone of the deceased. All have been registered as exhibits.
Guys, do your daughter a favor this year by getting her a unique gift that she'll treasure forever. It says, to my daughter, never forget that I love.
We also visited, the investigation team also visited Kuramed Hospital, the Rest Hospital, Chandelier Nightclub, VI, which represents one of the scenes where
he was?
The deceased in the viral video was assaulted.
Okay, the club.
At the Elegushi Beach also. Medical opinion. In addition, as part of investigative efforts that are aimed at obtaining expert opinion in the likely cause of death of Mohbad through a professional review of the actions of auxiliary nurse Feyisayo Ogedengbe, the principal suspect.
Feyisayo.
September 2023, a team of medical doctors, pharmacists, and nurses drawn from the Pharmacists Council of Nigeria, Nigeria Medical Association, and the Nigeria Police Force Medical Services jointly interviewed the auxiliary nurse. A detailed report, which is being utilized as an expert opinion and critical evidence of high prosecutorial value, has been submitted. it specifically identifies some illegal acts and professional negligence.
I think they said water mixed with paracetamol. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I'm not a clinician, so I don't know.
The report also confirmed
What y'all be doing?
that as an auxiliary nurse, Ms. Feisayo does not have the competence, knowledge, brief, or certification to diagnose, prescribe, or administer drugs and injections on patients, as she was supposed to work under the directives and supervision of a qualified medical doctor or nurse while on duty. The report also strongly projected that there is a link between the medical negligence of auxiliary nurse Feisayo Ogedegbe and the death of Mohbad.
Wait. Let's go back.
Between the qualified medical doctor or nurse while on duty. The report also strongly projected that there is a link between the medical negligence of auxiliary nurse Feisayo Ogedegbe and the death of Mohbad.
It's a projection, like an election. Projection. They're not declaring. Okay, so we're still waiting for the autopsy results, like they said, but I know that you guys are saying that Abrodian should have done the autopsy, but I don't know. There's too much stuff aligning for me. I don't know about you guys. It's too much of the story since day one that's been aligning, except the ear infection part, right? The ear infection, we have to kind of link that. Sam Larry, we have to link that. They have to actually link that. We can't just assume, right? Naramali, they have to link it, right? We can't assume. That has nothing. We're talking about the death now, not the bullying, right? So, Yvette says, my stomach is paining me. Reconstituted and normal saline is probably what he meant to say. Right. Is that what that is? Well, the only time I ever heard of saline is drip, right? But this whole situation is giving me a headache. But let me Sanji. Yes, how convenient that no CCTV. Yeah. Even here, when there's no CCTV, the neighbors, somebody, something, usually, especially with the popularity of cameras, CCTV, ring cameras everywhere right now, all those things should be easily subpoenaed, but I don't know. Dealer saying, what is Shojoro? So what about Naramali and Sam Larry? They have to link it. They have to link them. They're still suspects, right? Because of events that lasted over a year that led down to that day. But that's like almost 2 years, right? They need to be punished for the things they did to Mohbad. That we have proof of this. We don't have proof of anything the nurse did. Hey, we shall wait. Miss Angie said Niger happened to Mohbad. Let's continue.
Sequence of events directly accounting for the death of Mohbad. Based on investigation, this represents the sequence of events that eventually culminated in his death. On 10th September 2023, Ireoluwa Oladimeji Aloba, aka Mohbad, attended a musical concert at Ikorodu town.
Alright, I want you to pay attention to that. They didn't go as far back as February 2022 when it was being bullied. They went to September 10th. Okay, these are the events right now. Okay, just letting you know. Okay, they went back to September 10th. September 10th of 2023. It sounds to me that Naramali and Sam Larry were probably out of the country. One was somewhere in Europe, the other one was in Kenya. So let's continue.
September 2023. On 10th September 2023, Ireoluwa Oladimeji Aloba, aka Mohbad, attended a musical concert at Ikorodu town at about 21:00 hours on the invitation of one Soso Soberekon to promote the General Bitters beverages, which is marketing. Mohbad arrived in venue of the event at about 19:00 hours in company of his wife, Mrs. Cynthia Omowumi Adebanjo, and their 5-month-old baby. His childhood friend, Ibrahim Oluwatosin Owoduni, Prime Boy, and Mohbad's personal assistant, Adeyemo Oluwatife, alias Garusa, all of whom were in the Prado Jeep, which was hired by Mohbad for the events and driven by Felix Esambo. Others that accompany Mohbad in separate vehicles include Ayobami Sadiq, Spending, Adura Baby Shedra Kadoba, who is the younger brother of Mohbad, Ajisegiri Sultan Ayobami, Mohbad's DJ, Aderinto Fawaz Ademola Adewest, Mohbad's friend, and Olanruwaji Ingris Adedoja, alias Oji, his photographer.
There's quite a few people in the entourage.
Performed along with Mohbad at the show, including other musical acts that performed along with Mohbad.
That's quite a lot of people in that entourage, right? For Mohbad, right? But some of them are family members, some of them are brothers, I think. But he's a superstar, so maybe he needs all those people around him: assistant, manager, brother, driver, maybe.
Other musical acts that performed along with Mohbad at the show included Zlatan, Shehu Kuti, and DJ.
Wow, Shehu Kuti was there.
Kati. At the end of his performance at about 23:00 hours, as he made to exit the venue with his entourage, he discovered that his vehicle had been blocked by other vehicles, while some of his fans and area boys also moved in. Mohbad, who from witnesses' evidence was said to be tipsy and hyperactive, became infuriated, and as he attempted to come down to clear the road, Ibrahim, his friend, prevailed on him not to do so for his personal safety. This further infuriated Mohbad, and it eventually degenerated into a hot argument between the two of them and physical fights.
At this point, I'm waiting for the argument between him and his wife that Prime Boy has been claiming. I'm waiting for that to come into the story. Let's continue.
In the course of an attempt by Mohbad to hit Ibrahim with a blow, Mohbad missed him and smashed his hand against the window of their Prado Jeep, causing him an injury on his forehand, and he bled.
How does this weird tiny device help
All right.
with airborne pollutants? Studies show that
Profusely.
He bled profusely, just in case you missed
The
that.
situation was brought under control, and they all departed for the Lekki residence of Mohbad, excluding Ibrahim. Upon arrival at home at about 0200 hours of 11 September 2023, 00 hours. Upon arrival at home at about 0200 hours of 11 September 2023, Mohbad refused to go to the hospital to treat his injury, despite persistent persuasion by his wife, staffs, and friends, including the Prado Jeep driver whose vehicle was damaged. Later in the day, the injured hand, which was still bleeding on the second day, started getting swollen, causing Mohbad unbearable pains.
All right, so a question that I have at this point is that if this is all true, why did he insist about not going to the hospital if he was going through so much pain and if he was going through a lot, like painful, obvious bleeding, and why would he insist? Why didn't he want to go into the hospital, right? I'm curious to that right now too.
This is the injury. You may also pass it on. How it got swollen by the second day.
I have a picture of the injury.
So at this point,
Let me go back a little bit.
you may also pass it on. How it got swollen by the second day. So at this point, his friend Ayobami Sadiq, Spending, who noticed the increasing pains, further insisted that he must go to the hospital for treatment. Mohbad still resisted and opted to call his personal nurse, identified as Nurse Fumi, who unfortunately was not available. At this point, Ayobami Sodiq Spending offered to call his own nurse to attend to Mohbad. That nurse turned out to be the auxiliary nurse, Ms. Feisayo Ogedengbe, a suggestion that Mohbad consented to. When Ms. Feisayo was contacted at about 14:30 hours on Monday, 11 September 2023, she was unavailable but promised to come the following day, being Tuesday, 12 September 2023. Ahead of her arrival, she requested that a picture of the swollen hand stroke injury area be videoed and snapped and sent to her for assessment to guide on the medication to come along with. This was eventually done. At about 14:35 hours on 12 September 2023, Ms. Feisayo eventually arrived armed with one pack of cetrazone injection, one vial paracetamol injection, tetanus toxoid injection, one vial procaine penicillin injection, 7 ampoules of IM diclofenac, tincture iodine, several needles and syringes.
All right, so another question that I have is, again, I already asked this, where's the rest of the story of the argument between Mohbad and his wife? Does this have anything to do with the fact that he's tipsy and the fact that, they were trying to leave and their cars were blocked in? The next question I have is, which pharmacy sold these medications to Feisayo? Where did these medications came from? Where did they come from? I'm curious, just like you. Okay, I'm just curious. Shola is stuck on Sam Larry and Naira Marley. I understand, but they have to be linked. They should be held accountable for bullying. Okay, all right. That's gonna have to look like a separate case entirely, and the victim is no longer here. Right? I do not believe he refused going to the hospital. All right. So if we don't believe that, where's the rest of the story? We need the rest of the story. Something was broken in harm. Which one do you believe? The harm story? What the story has picture, that harm story. But in terms of refusing to go to the hospital, yeah, that part, right? That part. Exactly. Where did the medication come from? Which pharmacy? I would like to know that, because pharmacies here are liable, right? I feel like the police should have come out with the autopsy, because things doesn't make sense. Yep. Everybody was asking them for some kind of report since yesterday, because they promised 2 weeks to come up with some kind of report. So they're just projecting right now at this point. There's nothing about the couple's fight in the police statement. Yeah, but again, that only came from Prime Boy yesterday, right? So let's continue.
Ms. Feisayo administered the tetanus toxoid on the arm of Mohbad and gave both the paracetamol and cetrazone injection intravenously. Immediately, the cetrazone injection was administered. Ms. Feisayo confirmed that Mohbad started vomiting, while goose pimples appeared on his face and Ms. Feisayo and cetrazone injection intravenously. Immediately, the cetrazone injection was administered. Ms. Feisayo confirmed that Mohbad started vomiting, while goose pimples appeared on his face and all over his body. At this point,
that sounds like allergic reaction, right?
It dawned on Ms. Feisayo that Mohbad was reacting to the administered medications. She consequently ran out to procure hydro and Nizafin infusion. While at the pharmacy,
she ran to another pharmacy where they're going to give him some more stuff, right? Are these all controlled substances?
She consequently ran out to procure hydro and Nizafin infusion.
Hydronizafin infusion. Can they just sell this to random people with no licenses on the streets in Nigeria? I bet they can't.
While at the pharmacy in the locality, she got a call that Mohbad has started convulsing. Eventually, Cynthia Omoduni Adebanjo,
That's the wife.
Adura Abeli Sheldrak Adoba, Olanrewaju Idris Adedoja, Aide Habib Idodaramola, Aderinto Fawaz, and Miss Feisayo rushed him to the hospital in the vehicle of engineer Chinaka, Jesse, their neighbor. Unfortunately, he was pronounced dead on arrival at Kura Hospital.
During menopause, estrogen is going to drop and cortisol is going to rise, and this causes unwanted tummy fat. And running.
Oh no. All right, so let's cancel that.
New York Presbyterian.
That went straight to. Let me see. I think I might have another video here. All right. I'm not sure if this is a completion of it.
Father, who had earlier been was later issued by Kuramed Hospital. Mohbad's father, who had earlier been was later issued by Kuramed Hospital. Mohbad's father, who had earlier been contacted on the development, came to the late Mohbad's house, and after a short meeting, resolved to move the body to Ikorodu for burial, which was done the following day, 13 September 2023, at about 14:00 hours. This is the narrative. Now, allegations of bullying, assault, and possible complicity in the death of Mohbad by Sam Larry.
All right, here we go with the allegations of bullying. That they're going to try to link it now, so we shall see. Let me see. What are y'all talking about? So Miss Feishayo was so willing to implicate herself that she gave up all this information, or more, something they claim here. I feel like you guys are also biased, okay? But we shall see, okay? So much is not hiding up. But yeah, let's talk about it now. Something is off. The truth and the matter is that those who really killed Mohbad will be walking free in the streets of Nigeria sooner than we think. The thing is that the reality, why do we talk about this kind of stuff here? The reality is that you have to prove the allegations. Okay, it's not about what's right. Oh yeah, in relationships as well. Okay, it's about what you can prove, right? It's about, you go, shall I get tired? No evidence. That's the reality about the life we're living, and it's fair. It's fair because, and if it's because somebody said earlier that Niger happened to Mohbad, that can also be true, right? So we need to do something about that. Like, for example, people like this will be a lot more harder. Let's say somebody else. Let's just assume that all of us, public opinion, Sam Larry, Naira Marley are guilty of this, right? It will be a lot harder for them to pull this off if a pharmacy is not randomly, willy-nilly selling drugs off the street to quack nurses. Okay, it will just be a lot more harder, right? In developed countries, can things happen? That yes, but they have to work a little bit harder. They have to cover their tracks a little bit, so it makes it a little bit harder to commit this type of crime. I'm just proving to you that that's still fair. Okay, that's all I'm trying to tell you, and it's what you can prove, right? Anyway, let's continue. Something is off. The truth and the matter is that we already addressed that. Let's continue.
During the investigation, series of allegations of bullying, threat to life, and possible complicity in the death of Mohbad by Naira Marley and Sam Larry were raised with various contexts. This prompted the special investigation team to widen the scope of their investigation to that aspect. Several videos touching on the allegations were analyzed and witnesses were interviewed. Many of the witnesses earlier listed, as the 26 witnesses, many of them alleged that his deceased was indeed bullied and assaulted several times by Naira Marley and Sam Larry. That is, and witnesses were interviewed. Many of the witnesses earlier listed, as the 26 witnesses, many of them alleged
The witnesses.
that his deceased was indeed bullied and assaulted several times by Naira Marley and Sam Larry and their gangs. It was affirmed that sometime in 2019, the deceased was allegedly signed by Naira Marley into a record label known as Malian Music Limited. Due to disagreement in terms of the contract, the deceased pressed for the revocation of his contractual relationship with Malian Music, while also pushing to relieve his then manager, who was a brother to Naira Marley. It was alleged that this moves eyed the suspects, who in consequence allegedly severally conspired, bullied, and assaulted the deceased. It was also asserted by some witnesses with corroborative video evidence that before his demise, Mohbad had raised alarm that his life was being threatened, that he was being bullied and assaulted by Naira Marley and Sam Larry. Upon their arrest, Abdulaziz Abdeshin Fashola Naira Marley and Samson Erinfolani Balogun Sam Larry denied allegations of complicity in the death of Mohbad by pleading an alibi that they were both out of the country when the incident occurred, and they were not in any manner involved in the chain of events that occasions his eventual death between 10th to 12th September 2023. However, there are preponderance of evidence linking both Naira Marley and Sam Larry to the allegations of threat to life, cyber stalking, and sundry crimes committed against evidence. However, there are preponderance of evidence linking both Naira Marley and Sam Larry to the allegations of threat to life, cyber stalking, and sundry crimes committed against Mohbad in his lifetime, and they are being so held liable. Interim investigation, interim findings. So, from investigations so far conducted, it has been established as follows. 1. The chain of events that directly and specifically led to the death of Iberu Oladimeji Aloba, aka Mohbad, occurred between 10th to 13th September 2023, and the location of incident stretched over Ikorodu and Lekki. Feisayo Ogedengbe, female, who as an auxiliary nurse administered multiple and highly potent injections, which triggered an immediate reaction that eventually occasioned the death of Mohbad, is the principal suspect in the homicide case.
Here's one thing you need to do before buying anything
right
online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this.
Feisayo Ogedengbe is not a qualified registered nurse, and her illegal and medical negligence are believed to have been directly responsible for the chain reactions and eventual death of Mohbad at 15:43 hours on 12 September 2023. The time within which auxiliary nurse Ogedengbe administered injections on Mohbad, through his reactions, convulsion, and eventual death, is confirmed to be within less than an hour, covering from 1440 hours when the principal suspect administered the sets of injection and 1543 hours when Mohbad was confirmed dead at Kuramed Hospital. Aside her admittance to the consequences of her actions, the report of the medical panel that reviewed auxiliary nurse Feisayo's actions concluded that she went beyond her limitations as an auxiliary nurse by administering intravenously cetrazone on the deceased, and that this, from their review, was the most likely cause of the anaphylactic reaction.
There you
which
go.
would have been promptly resolved and his death possibly prevented.
All right, that word finally came up. Anaphylactic reaction. Somebody said that earlier. Can someone explain what an auxiliary nurse in Nigeria is? Yeah, we talked about that earlier. I guess you came late. We concluded that it was probably equivalent of a person with a CNA, certified nursing assistant, a nursing assistant or aide, who is most likely not licensed or authorized to administer injections or certain types of medications. All right, so on top of that, remember that she has no job right now. She actually is jobless. She's working as a private quack nurse from home. Ouch. Let's continue.
If the disease was treated in the hospital. Ibrahim Oluwatosin Owodunni crime boy is also considered as complicit in the chain of events that led to the eventual death of Mohbad, as the injury that culminated in actions which led to his death was sustained in the course of physical combat between him and Mohbad. Ayobami Sodiq Splendid considered complicit in the homicide case for inviting Feisayo.
Is it Splendid or Splendid? Which one? He's the one that called the nurse, right? It's the one who called the nurse. So, the story. Let's continue. Let's just finish it.
Whom he knew to be an unqualified and unregistered nurse to administer the potent medications that eventually trigger reactions leading to Mohbad's death. While Abdulaziz Fashola, Naira Marley, and Samson Balogun Sam Larry denied allegations of criminal liability in the death of Mohbad and pleaded an alibi to justify their not being complicit in the incidents that occurred from 10 to 12 September 2023. There are ample electronic and credible witnesses evidence linking them to cyberbullying and cyberstalking, threat to life, assaults, occasioning harm, and conduct likely to cause breach of the peace against the deceased in his lifetime, following their roles in the incidents that occurred at the Chandelier Club and Elegushi Beach in June 2023, as well as the alleged assaults on Mohbad in October 2022 around the residence of Naira Marley against the deceased in his lifetime, following their roles in the incidents that occurred at the Chandelier Club and Elegushi Beach in June 2023, as well as the alleged assaults on Mohbad in October 2022 around the residence of Naira Marley. Sam Larry admitted that he had multiple physical confrontations with Mohbad to refund the 2 million naira.
The 2 million naira.
He paid to the late singer for a show which he claimed he did not honor. There are documentary evidence, international travel records, confirming that both Abdulaziz Fashola, Naira Marley, and Samson Balogun, alleged to Sam Larry, were not in Lagos, Nigeria, when the events that directly led to Mohbad's death occurred.
So let me ask, do you think they intentionally left the country? Do you think they intentionally left the country after they orchestrated what led to his demise? Is that what if you strongly believe in that, put a 1 in the chat. If you're starting to have any doubt around that, put a 2 in the chat. If you think, nah, absolutely, they have nothing to do with this, put a 3 in the chat. Let's continue.
10 to 12 September 2023. While Naira Marley was out of the country from 21st August to 3rd October when he reported and was arrested, when he returned and was arrested, Sam Larry was out of the country from 4th to 28th September.
From 4th.
On the demise of the deceased, his remains were buried at Ikorodu by his relatives on 13th September 2023 proud to be opera that greeted his death and which informed the launch of the homicide investigation. On 21st September 2023, the corpse was exhumed, and on same date at about 16:00 hours, autopsy was performed on the remains of the deceased, and vital specimens were taken and sent to Lagos State DNA and Forensic Center for toxicology examination. The reports are still being awaited. Also being awaited is the official response from NDLEA on one of the viral videos containing allegations by the singer on his experience at the agency's Lagos office sometime in October 2022. Conclusion. Although the results of the autopsy and toxicology tests have been awaited, substantial grounds have been covered well enough by the Special Investigation Team to support the processing of the case file to the Director of Public Prosecution. Consequently, the case file is being duplicated and forwarded to the Director of Public Prosecution for vetting and legal advice, the outcome of which will inform further investigation, investigative actions, and prosecution. While reassuring that the command will sustain its firm determination to ensure justice in this case, I wish to assure that the members of the public will be availed of any further development in relation to the outcome of the autopsy and toxicology reports, DPP advice, feedback from NDLEA, and any other developments in the investigation into this case. I thank you for the coverage.
All right, I think there's a little more somewhere. I'll see what they're saying. All right, so let me see. Let's share this. All right, so let's get into. I think there's a last one here. I'm not sure if it's the same one that we already listened to. It might be, but let's see real quickly. Then I'll come to the chat and then we'll chat.
Allegations of complicity with the main task of undertaking a detailed diagnosis. She's not qualified.
Okay, yeah, we're already seen this.
At this point, it dawned on Ms. Fisher that Mohbad was reacting to the.
Yes, so we've already listened to that. Okay. Oh God. All right, so I want to drop that just in case. I don't know if you guys want to call in and talk about this. Let me see. I'm looking at the time because it's the middle of the day. I got things going on, but let me drop the link just in case somebody wants to come in and offer some opinions. Let's talk about it maybe for a few minutes. All right, Mohbad. Yeah, interesting. Let me see here. Yeah, that young man. It's such a shame, you know. What I am personally seeing here is Nigeria. You know, Niger. Somebody said earlier, Niger happened to Mohbad. Yeah, there's no country in the world that's perfect. You know, no country in the world is perfect. So, you know, even here in the United States, certain things will happen and you'll be like, wait, so somebody's gonna get away with that? And you're like, yeah, potentially, yeah, they can get away with it, you know. And it is possible that there's some coincidence here. Okay, it's possible. Where I have conflict is it probable? Right, I'll tell you, it is probable in Nigeria. Okay, probable enough. Here it's no, like you have to get the pharmacy on board with the crime. You have to get your doctor on board with the crime. You have to, that old quack situation would have been covered up. Like you can't get away with that here, you know. So let me come to the chat really quickly. I know you guys were saying something earlier. It's like the mafia. MOP, are you okay? You're breathing hard. No, I think this thing is picking up every breath. Let me just hear it myself.
You're breathing hard. No, I think this thing is picking up every breath.
Let me turn that the new microphone. Yeah, you can even hear myself, man.
The new microphone.
I'm testing it right now. Let's see.
You can even hear myself.
Let me turn this down too. Can you guys still hear me? Yeah, it's picking up when I type too. I'll turn it down. Turn it down the gain right now until we get something better.
Yeah, it's picking up when I type too. I'll turn it down. Turn it down again right now.
Is it better? It's better, right? So I changed mics, so
Is it better?
I try to set the same setting, but you know, these things are not perfect.
It's better, right? So I changed mics, so
Let me pull. Not too far.
I do a full ground. How about you?
I do. Let me just
Are you
turn
okay?
this on. I'm good. See, so I can hear myself better now unless I turn on the monitor mics and stuff. So, yeah, sometimes when I'm listening back, so the videos, I'm able to regulate those audio, but when I go live, especially this kind of news, it's now from what you can hear right now. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. All right. Good. And then depending on what kind of earphones you're using too, you will hear me breathing and all kind of stuff. Anyway,
No, I thought you were breathing hard.
I was breathing hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm good. But do you hear it right now?
Yeah, no,
In
I don't.
the studio?
But you're good.
Okay.
I don't hear you breathing. Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right. So I know you got a bunch of theory around this whole thing.
This whole thing is complicated. But
Yeah.
one thing that I like is that the nurse was apprehended. His friend that brought the nurse. I know that the guy probably did not mean anything harm. I don't mean any evil, but from the stories going around, where like there's kind of like jealousy between the guy and Mohbad kind of thing. But I don't want to believe he brought the nurse because of that. Just a friend trying to like salvage the situation.
Who you talking about?
His friend that brought the nurse.
Oh, okay. That's Splendy or Spendy. I don't know which one.
Yes. I want to believe that he did that like in good faith. You understand
Right.
what I'm saying? But now the problem is the nurse, and that's a common issue.
Yeah, but why would he call that same nurse? Why is that? That would mean that would be a coincidence. He called that same quack nurse, right? Let me first of all ask you: are you still trying to link it with Sam Larry and Naramali, or no?
No,
Okay. Okay.
not yet.
Okay, not yet. Okay. All right,
So
continue.
what I'm trying to say is that the nurse, they said that they were trying to call Mohbad's nurse and she was not available, and that was when the other guy called his own.
Did the police say that?
Yeah, they did say that,
Okay. I missed that.
and that was why that guy called his own nurse. So I just want to believe he was just trying to help a friend out. That's number
Right.
one. Coupled with the insecurity around him, they don't want him to go out anyhow. You understand what I'm saying? That's two. Number three, the little thing that's a little
You're saying that's why they probably didn't go to the hospital.
yes.
Okay.
But the little thing that's kind of like twisted about the whole guy's issue is the interview he did yesterday, claiming that Mohbad and his wife were having a heated argument.
Right.
There were things.
And that they had to look for him at all.
First of all, if you're not married, shut the F up. One couple's fight, you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, why was he trying to bring that into it?
He was trying to paint something that has visibility. So, from what I'm saying, right, they're trying to push it on the girl now. You understand what I'm saying? So, they're trying to push it on the girl. If you're looking at the pattern. Because, first of all, I think it was the same person that brought out the screenshot of Mohbad's chat and his wife saying that they had a fight. I think, I'm not 100% sure. So, they're trying to distract. That's what I'm saying. Everybody just trying to find a way of taking the thing out.
And he had a lawyer.
Yeah, taking themselves out of the picture. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everybody's trying to distract. So even saying that Sam Larry and Naira were out of the country, this is a mafia situation. They should stop capping. They don't have to do it themselves. All the time that their boys were attacking them, it wasn't
Right.
Naira physically attacking, but his boys were doing it. And you know how those Nigerian boys are.
Now wait for a second, right? As far as what the autopsy is going to say, the autopsy is only going to tell us that the injection killed him.
The police just said it now.
Eh?
The police said it now. He said there was a
No,
reaction.
right. Which is the police already projected, but they didn't conclude. They didn't say conclusively because the autopsy has to come out, right? So, but that's all. Autopsy is not going to tell us all the intelligence that will be required to trace like a conspired crime back to Naira Marley and Sam Larry. The police will have to do that work. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the problem is that you're going to be honest and doing it.
That's the question, right? Wait, ABJ said, can you agree with me that the bullying is what made him afraid to go places, including hospital? His self-esteem was already damaged. You know,
Yes,
but he went for his show, though. He went for his show. And he was so tipsy. He was tipsy enough to be having a fight.
Emofi, let me explain to you. So he has to go to the show because he has to survive. He has a family. You
Okay.
understand what I'm saying? So it depends on what the show is paying him. That's why he has to go. But did you understand that when they said he was drunk and there was like half blocking him and he wanted to...
Hold on. I came out in the middle of the afternoon to come and do a live show for all of you. The least you can do is help me turn up on those likes. Please do me a favor, hit the like button. Let's get 20 more likes up there. Thank you, I appreciate you. Let's get 20 more likes up there. I appreciate you. And all 33% of you that say you haven't liked, I'm guessing you now discover you didn't like and then you went to like, right? So please do the needful. No, I'm assuming best case scenario. They were just trying to say, oh, not yet. That's what they were trying to say. But go ahead and do that for me. Thank you, I appreciate you. Go ahead, Larry. Natu, sorry.
So he has to feed his family. That's why he has to vote for the show.
Uh-huh.
Like ABJ said, that the bullying has messed him up, messed up his self-esteem, messed up his mental health. Now, cars are blocking him. So because he's already insecure, he's feeling the need to go out and fight because he feels they are coming for him again. But on a normal sense, if it was a normal him and you minus all those bullying, he's not gonna move. He's just gonna feel this regular traffic. Do you understand what I'm saying? But because of that, now he feels like everybody's attacking, everybody's coming for him. So even when it's not meant for him, he doesn't think it's for him because he doesn't even know who is who. So that bullying, bullying is a bad thing. Bullying is cancer. I'm telling you. It messes with your whole system head to toe.
So we all agree that he might not be able to think straight.
No.
Because of all the events that lead up to, but unfortunately, I'm not sure if they use that they can charge them with bullying, but that case will have to go through the courts. I'm not sure if you can trace that back to actual murder. You have to have other things lining up with that.
So I have a question, right? I have a question. So that show that he went to the Sunday before he passed, he's no longer with Malian Record. What is Sam Larry doing with him with that show? Why is he around?
Was it which show?
The last one he did on Sunday.
No. Sam Larry wasn't there. Sam Larry was out of the country since the September 4th. The police said that.
So which picture were they showing that he did a show and Sam Larry was standing there in the picture?
I think that's another show entirely. That's like
It was a
previously
video.
when they were still together. Yeah.
Well,
Sam Larry left the country September 4 to 28. That's what they said.
let me tell you, he can leave the country 1 month before and be operating everything from there. MOB, let me tell you something. My brother, right? When my brother,
But they have to prove that. They have to prove that, right?
wait, let me explain. When my brother messes around with girls, right? His wife, we have taken the authority off her hands to do anything. She hands it over to me. And you understand what I'm saying? So
No, repeat that. You skipped for a second.
what I'm saying is that she does not have to be there. I said my brother, when he messes with girls, the wife does not need to talk to the girls. I take care of the girls for her. Like I bully them,
Right.
harass them. So he doesn't
Right.
need to be there.
No, it doesn't need to be there. You're right. You're correct about that. I'm just saying the police will need to prove that they orchestrated it from anywhere in the world where there's telecommunication, right?
Did you see what this man? Well, they have to check their records too if they want to be honest with that. That's number one. Their phone records, That's number one. Number two,
Right, their phone records, yes.
yes, the police in his own report, he said there are a lot of credible evidences
Right.
about the bullying.
About the bullying. That's obvious. We know that, right? But they're having up to now they're having a hard time connecting it to the actual cause of his death. His T says, "Am I the only one that heard that police said Sam Larry and Naira Marley are complicit?" I think I heard that. Yeah,
I think I heard that too.
yeah, particularly with regards to the bullying, though. Okay, is it not normal for couples to fight? I fight with my husband almost every
Very
day,
normal.
and we make up. Well, the word fight is
Very
heavy.
normal.
Let's change that to disagreement. Okay, an argument to are very toxic over time. At least one of the partners will start building resentment, small. Disagreement, a little tussle back and forth, debate, yes. But that word fight, many people, I know what you mean, but many people interpret that differently. Go ahead.
Even the text going around about Mohbad and his wife. You know, you've seen text messages from couples that are even worse, right?
Yeah, but that's why you shouldn't do that, because you don't know when anybody's last day is. Don't leave all this. Thank you for saying that. Don't do that.
I
Okay.
understand what you're saying, but the point of people like relating it to his wife that they're having issues, I'm like, you people need to stop.
You said what?
Leave that girl. I said people trying to like push it on the wife using that text message screenshot saying
Let me shock you. She can end up in jail if there's too many of those kind of activities. See that woman in Ondo State who killed the husband in the middle of the night? Right?
There's a girl in America
People-
that told her boyfriend that she go and find himself. Did you forget?
Right, people will say
Life.
things like that. They might not mean it when they're saying it, but events can actually lead down that path. Right? And then it becomes, that will never be me. Well, she thought it would never be her too. You know, that's why WhatsApp is dangerous. Social media is dangerous. It's a double-edged sword. It can hurt you. Don't leave all this like, I will do this, I will do that. Don't leave anything that can implicate you. Right? Don't even leave it because you plan you're going to delete it. The police can undelete everything that you do on your phone if it comes down to it. You can't undelete it. They can undelete. Nothing is deleted. Get this right. There's nothing that's deleted ever. Okay, so that's why I said. Let me assume the best case scenario. You actually meant disagreement. You argue back and forth a little bit, and then you go and sleep. Somebody is interpreting that as the worst case scenario, and they're normalizing it. I think it's normal. No. It is not healthy to. It's not healthy. Okay, it's not healthy. I would just be careful with that. But I'm gonna assume best case scenario that you meant disagreement. Yeah, please like. Did we get that up? Thank you so much. We got those likes up. We're missing 13 right now. Thank you. That wife has suffered. They were all to push it on the poor girl, including Mohbad's father. Hold on one second, Natu. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Yes, get the likes up. I always thank you so much. Get the likes up. Thank you. I agree with Natu. Most of those guys get high prior to a show to perform, be it drugs and alcohol. Yes, they do. Most of them, you know. There's also the factor of us as people preferring to take the shorter route. He would rather a nurse comes to his house to treat him than taking the time to go. Yeah, it's just bad. Yeah. We honestly, when I said earlier that as children, when I was younger, the nurse next neighbor treated us, you know, without my parent checking if she's licensed or not. She was just Mommy Tosin, the neighbor. You know, so that even has nothing to do with lazy. It was just even up to when I was teenage. My one of my best friends, who was RIP, was a nurse, but she was board certified. She's a senior nurse. She has a clinic at home, right? But we never check if those licenses are active. We never do, right? She retired with the clinic in her house. Eventually, I think they retired the clinic too. She's much older now. If anyone has dealt with bullying and PTSD, he can never think straight. Yes, I think that's a big thing. But unfortunately, there's only so much they can link that to an actual event of somebody passing because of quack activities like injection from a quack nurse. Somebody says she's going to be the scapegoat. Okay, if that's what you want to call it, but she really shouldn't be participating in such activities.
But who even told her to say the thing she said, saying that, oh, I feel
Maybe
like she needs a lawyer.
who cares about who told her? She did it. She did those things. Yes, she does need a lawyer too, right? But if she's a professional criminal, she would know that she needs a lawyer. Don't you think? She probably won't be talking without lawyer. But also, Prime was with a lawyer yesterday. Just because you're with a lawyer might just be able to reduce the number of time or years you spend in jail, depending on what kind of crime, right? The lawyer is not a guarantee that you just escape from committing crime, you know. Sam Larry wasn't there. It was So that was the show promoter. Yes, that was So Berekono, the promoter of the General Beaters. Now we know General Beaters for the wrong reasons. I've been hearing that name, but I didn't know what it was. They better check. They better check those phones of Larry and the other guy from September 4th through. You know, but if they are professional criminals, they can hide that too. You know. I sincerely doubt they initiated directly anything to kill Mohbad. Okay, so you fall under 2. I haven't seen any 3. From what Natu is saying, after she came on the show now to the studio, it's more like 2. You're more like 2, right? Natu.
More than 1.
Yeah. But you started with you think that Splendy was trying to be a good friend. That's 2, right? Because if Splendy was trying to be a good friend.
I said Splendy was in between. They're on the line statement that he made that might implicate him. You know what I'm saying? So he might, in his own side, trying to be a good friend. But
right.
The rumors going around that there's kind of like envy thing going in between them, and that was when Mohbad told him to get out of the car. Or maybe he was having an argument with his wife and he was trying to chip in to say something, and it's like, dude, I'm talking to my wife, get out of the car. But now the dude is not trying to tell us what exactly happened. He's trying to make it look like the girl is doing something bad to him. And rest of it.
Now, seriously, Anna says, Anna, I've never seen that name before. You're welcome to come here anytime. Welcome. Have we established a motive for Naira and Sam to actually sending boys to buy him? It's funny that you're asking that question because I have a couple of questions, right? Could you stay in a relationship? No, wrong one. Let me see here. That's another day. That was a different day. Let me come down here. Okay, there you go. Why didn't he want to go to the hospital? I think we've been talking about that, right? Where's the rest of the story of the argument between Mohbad and his wife? Basically, I'm trying to say, why is he bringing that up? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying yet that he's lying. I want to know why he's bringing that up. I would like to get to the bottom of that. Which pharmacy sold these medications to Faisha? I think we already addressed that because they are also they are liable. Okay. We have the motive for Mohbad to be bullied. I get that part. This is where I'm getting at right now. We have the motive for Mohbad to be bullied, but what would be the motive for him to be deleted? Can you speak to that, Natu? Natu, where are you?
I'm right here. Okay, so to answer,
what would be the motive for him to be deleted? We get that bullying. They want him to stay on the label, pay their money, whatever, right? What would be the motive?
No, them wanting him to stay in the label is for them to use him because they see his star. They want to be able to control him. So from the way he's singing, from what we've heard, from the stories we've heard about him, like he writes his songs, and you could see very well that the guy is talented. And if you give him a year or 2, Nara got nothing on him. Do you understand?
Okay.
So he wants to be. It's just like you having a wife that you control, and all of a sudden your wife is not educated. She's moving up the ladder, and you can't even talk to her anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I get that. I still want to. I'm still struggling.
Yes.
Why would they want him deleted? They want to control him. He needs to be alive to be able to control him.
Wait, they want to control him, but he does not want to be controlled. Why do some men beat their wives till they pie them? Why did that guy?
The men that do that also don't intend to pie them now.
No, the guy in Florida pied his wife because if he cannot have her, nobody can have her. Don't forget, my friend told me that he called somebody in Nigeria and asking the person how to use a bomb. Do you understand what I'm saying?
How to use it? You said it wasn't a soldier, right? That he was somebody. Okay.
So now he's like, he got to a point where this woman has outgrown me, in the words of Nino. She has outgrown me. I don't have control over her anymore. So if I can't have her, nobody can have her. So that's the point in which the Malians are, if he cannot leave this label, he has to be with us because we have to like we brought him up, we trained him. People knew him because of us, so he can't go now with all the money and be making money on his own, and we can't participate in it. So he has to stay with us. Now the guy said, "I'm not staying. I have to leave." So he's like, "Oh, you're leaving us? You can't leave us." So they started bullying him. See.
No, again, not to. I'm still struggling.
Wait, MOP.
Yeah, continue.
What happens to bullying, right? Sometimes you don't want to do it like straight up to pie somebody. You want to like see the person is crying slowly, like in pain. That's
what, unless they've lost the example you gave, which is that guy, he was a depressed person. We don't know that clinically, but it was a depressed person who has been feeling like he lost himself to the point that he completely lost his mind. That's how I comprehend that. Okay.
All right.
And criminal people who are criminal, they don't operate that way. If they're going to delete a person, there's a real motive behind it. It could be traced back to this person just floating around with messed up business for me. Okay, if you watch a lot of these criminal shows, mobs and all this kind of stuff, you get what I'm saying, right? They don't just wake up and say I want to delete a person. It must be there has to be linked to some kind of business reason.
There's something I will almost figure out to you. There's something else that people will say, the man like I'm going to place madness on you. And you know when somebody plays madness on you and makes you mad, you become useless. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But I'm asking you that question still. Now, if they become useless, that's what we're asking. What would be the motive to make a person useless? If the original motive was clear, which is you make money for me, you don't go anywhere. That's the original motive.
But now the point is that I can't make money of you because you want to leave me, and the boy is a star. So now, if you remember, I think this King Solo that spoke in one of the interviews, he said Mohbad was the only celebrity that left a label and still made a hit.
Right, because including Wizkid did, but go ahead.
Well, that hit could be a trigger for them too. Like, this boy has in less than a year or two. We don't know if he stands this boy. Like, we can't be where he is. He's going to be in the level of the likes of Wiki that they do. And Marley never reached that level. And
so one of the reasons why we keep asking that question and why police always ask that question, right, is that the last thing that Sam Larry and Naira Marley want in the last 4 weeks is what has been happening. That's the last thing they want. They don't want anything that will mess up business for them. Even if they wanted to commit something criminal, they don't want what is happening right now.
But you've answered the question. That's why they didn't pie him directly. That's why they've been doing this bullying thing. So that if he gets to a place where he goes to jump off a cliff and hide himself, they're like, oh, he hid himself by himself, he didn't touch him. Do you understand?
Yeah, but what's still the benefit for them that he's no longer here? What's the benefit for them?
They don't have no competition. We're not making the money from you. You're not going to be here. We don't have. Yes.
It's just one.
Yes. Bro, that's their boy. Do you know
the only way I will agree with you, is that Naira Marley, that one person, has lost his mind and he was doing anything that will also self-destruct. That's the only way I will agree with you. And unfortunately, that doesn't pass for motive. Right? Because if it involves him self-destructing and destroy his own label, that's possible, which is the case of.
If he wants to destroy his label, he'll find the boy in one day and let everywhere just.
No, but buying the boy over this long period of time consume resources. Like, why would he want to get through all of that when they could just be making money? As Naira Marley with Zino Liski is popping right now. It was popping up to 4 weeks ago.
Do you understand that the other day I made this statement to you and I said that he's losing money because all media streams are taking him off, and everybody came and said, no, he's not making money on music. He has his own deals on the side.
You're talking about before the demise of Mohbad or after?
I'm talking about him selling drugs.
Oh, like him selling drugs, okay.
Yeah, so if nothing happens and he's somewhere chilling, his guys are still pushing stuff around for him, he's still getting his money. Which hit does Naira have? What money is he making?
Well, a lot of 24 million views on YouTube. No be anybody's mate. That may not be enough, but it's still good enough money. You know what I'm saying? to sustain the lifestyle he's looking for. I mean, he was hot in 2019, and now he has Zinoliski is hot right now too. And I think there might be a couple of people on the label, right? But my point is that what would be the motive for him to be willing to destroy all of that just because of this potential news over the past few weeks?
He has lost.
You said what?
Lost control and jealousy.
Jealousy.
He doesn't have control over the boy no more, and that's his boy. Yes.
Yeah, jealousy. I don't think does jealousy pass for motive. I'm not sure. We will need to dig in a little deeper. I'm not a lawyer, so I will need to dig in a little. For me, jealousy is like more like a symptom, a surface level, like for a criminal. Remember, I'm saying for a criminal. Jealousy for a family situation. I get that, but for criminal, what is potentially what they are being accused of right now is criminal activities, right? So anything that's emotionally based, we have to be assessed a little bit deeper than the surface, right? So unless we're talking about, oh, it was depressed, and then it becomes emotional stuff, right? But what would be a reason why this guy has a lot going on with Malian music, and then he's going to chase this boy for almost 2 years until he's self by? That's not connecting for me. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so I have been in situations where I've seen people that are obsessed. No, I'm trying to give like little examples, not like the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're obsessed with people and they do everything to like make you. It's just like you've been divorced, and maybe the other person doesn't want to be divorced, or the husband doesn't want to be divorced, like divorce your husband, and then he becomes a thorn on your neck. I have a friend that the husband took more than 3 years to sign divorce papers.
Right. Okay.
Like he just derives pleasure in torturing her. If she just gets on his nerves, she just goes to court and start dragging, like you will not understand. There's some people that are like that. Like, I will listen, I will frustrate you, I will choke you so there. You know, you understand.
Right.
So there's some people that are like that. So they didn't part on the good note. The boy decided to leave, and they were not okay with it. And then imagine this one bringing issue that he paid him to come and sing at his mother's show, at his mother's birthday or whatever show, and then didn't show up. So, and he's trying to use that one. That's his own excuse.
Yeah.
That's his own excuse. But is that enough? And you see videos of him crying all the time, saying, "Cry is Mali and his boys," because he knows what the story is, and they know. Somebody made a statement, right? He said probably when Mohbad joined Naira, when he got into the group,
right,
he found out what they were doing. But you know, like you're coming from the street now, you want to make something for yourself. Nobody have outside you, but somebody has said, "Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna be here for too long. Let me just get my name out here now." You know, they do like that for course. Once you enter, you don't enter. So some people are saying that he probably has seen something that he's not supposed to see, and now he wants to leave, and they're not okay with it, which is very possible. There's a video of Naira going around when he gave Mohbad something to smoke, and he had like pounds of cocaine on the table.
They always gave each other stuff to smoke. Have you not been around people that smoke stuff?
No, but they were a pound of cocaine on the table. It was wrapped on the table.
Okay, there's cocaine on the table. Yeah, so they're known for drugs, you know, and they will have to connect those drugs to. They can be accused of drug pushing and all kind of stuff. But in terms of murder, there's going to be more work. If it was that easy, you know, maybe we'll be convicted. If that is just throw people in jail because somebody says somebody died, or a bunch of public say somebody died, it must be somebody's fault. Well, it's not that easy. Okay.
MOP, but you know why they're gonna still hold them again? This boy made a complaint months back. He filed a complaint.
He made a complaint for bullying, which was that event at that time, right? They will have to connect the events. Hold on 1 second. Yvette and I think ABJ earlier were saying jealousy and control. Again, those things they're emotionally based. When we're talking about criminal activities and criminal structures and criminal organized crime, meaning other people are involved, not just one person. When there's one person involved, you can say depression, that person is jealous, they're being controlling, and they went to buy. You can say that. That's why we talk about that in family. When you're talking about organized crime, it's a different ball game. You have to connect the dots. You can't just take a few people and say they plan. You have to prove that they planned. That's what I'm trying to say, right? D-Love says, exactly, no competition from the little rat they made. and he didn't make them all money back, right? And this part, she says, MOP, he didn't think this would turn out like this. That means they didn't want him to delete. We're talking about the deletion, right? The end goal being deletion. What will be the motive of that? The bullying is clear. Everything that led on, let's stop him from making money. He cannot make money in this town. I run this town, right? All of that is obvious, right? That's bullying, right? And there are criminal codes for that as well. But there are laws against that as well. But the murder part, right? There's only one person that is a prime suspect at this point. They have to link that prime person. That's the nurse Feishayo Ogidengbe. They have to link that person, right? They have to link them. If they don't link them, it's not that simple. You can't just throw people in jail for murder. The ultimate. That's what we're saying here. Good. I'm listening, Natu.
I just lost my train of thought.
Okay, wait. So she said, MOP, he didn't think this would turn out like this. He was even documenting videos to make Mohbad look bad. Yes, he was. That's the bullying part. Mm-hmm.
I remember what I wanted to say. So if you think that they're doing all that, but they don't want to fire him, they just want to prosecute him, they're capping. If you have a child, like then give the child food. Do you think the child's not gonna cry someday? Malnutrition kills. Do you understand that?
Right.
And like I said earlier, bullying is cancer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wait, so Yvette says emotions get out of control, criminal acts can occur. Yeah, there's layers. I'm just asking a very simple question here. There are layers to it. Again, one person who is powerful enough, who have enough resources to deploy people who are not necessarily emotionally connected to it, can decide that take him out. Right? They have enough resources to just get people just para everywhere and to get rid of him, right? But we're talking about Sam Larry, we're talking about Naira Marley, we're talking about a very long term of bullying, right? I think if I were to argue right now until I get that answer, if I were to argue, I think the motive is more than available to keep bullying him until he get frustrated out of the business. Did they think it's gonna end up like this? Like MOP said, sorry, I said MOP. Like D-Love said, they didn't think it was gonna end up like that, and that's the point that I'm trying to make. They didn't think it was going to end up like this. They thought they could just keep frustrating him while business continues as usual. Because if it ended up like this, what do we know right now? We know that all of their business, all of their organization will be discombobulated, right? And that's what's happening right now, right? They're not going to get away with this because they're still guilty, right, of bullying. And unfortunately, it's traced. Remember the example we just gave. When a wife or a husband, they keep testing things that they don't necessarily mean but can implicate them in case somebody gets hit by a bus on the way home, right? That's why I said don't do that. It's dangerous. Don't leave evidence everywhere like that. It's stupid, right? See, organized crime, they cover all those tracks, right? For whatever reason, but usually the amount of resources that goes into that, it's only worth it if they need to protect the business. Buying this boy in this manner will not protect the business. Right, so they never want to do it in a messy way, if you will. And what is messy way? When you have all this accomplice, right? All those people, Splendid, all these people that are around him, they will create this. I mean, even Prime Boy is just messy, right? They would make sure that it's clean, and Anyway, don't let me talk too much right now because this is all being documented. Let me see. Emotions get out of control. Criminal acts can occur. Yes, of course. But we're looking for motive, right? Ola is the same. Wait though. I saw Brother Kidola says wrong medicine. I think you came late. We already covered that, Brother Kidola. Yes, Nato is right. Jealousy can be a motive. Yeah, of one person, right? I agree 100%. But I don't think Naira Marley has the resources to deploy a bunch of people to be tracing him for the past 2 years.
He does. Oh, yes, he does.
Maybe he does. He's a popular guy, right? He has area boys and all this piece, right?
Even the owner of the 1 million boys in the
mm-hmm. It's possible, but they need to link it. It's the point we're making here, right? They could say it was only powder and not cocaine. Yeah, that's why people can do that on video, right? You have to prove it, right? They should consider both remote and immediate causes of... Oh, yeah, that's a given. They have to. Something we should remember is that already Naira Marley was on guard because Mohbad already declared him wanted before he died, and that would have been one reason why even if he planned... Yeah, yeah, but he would not want to do it in a very messy way, you know. So we're not saying there's no reason, there's no motive. I'm just curious to what that is, right? Yeah, it's too messy, and if they actually wanted to delete him, it spells, it's telltale signs, amateur criminals. Like, that's just terrible, you know. Very messy, you know. And Nigeria, just the way Nigeria operates, also demonstrates that you have to even do extra work in terms of not doing something stupid in a very careless way. And no one should be involved in these activities in the first place. Let me just be clear about that. It could be fear of him exposing his... Okay, it's D. Now we're talking. And I've heard some of you say this on this show before, and I'm surprised no one has said it until now, right? What about he knows some things that we don't want because it's too dangerous, it's too flaky, it's too careless. This boy, the way he's acting, is going to say some things he doesn't need to say, right? These are real reasons why criminal organizations might decide to get rid of one person. The last thing they ever want to do is to get rid of a person, because they don't really make money from that. But if something can tarnish organized crime in terms of money, yes, they can now decide to do something like that. But even in that case, they will not be very messy about it. They will not be so messy about it, right? So there's some people, you just leave them alone. That leave them alone. Like, I don't want them to, just let him go. No, it's not going to do anything. Well, no, get rid of him because he knows too much, right? Now, that could be, now they will have to prove that. The police and the law enforcement will have to prove that. Okay? So let me see. Seriously, Anna says, I don't think the bottom line would serve them well if the boy died. What Ola said about long-term plan is much feasible for them than in a messy way. Exactly. All right. Yeah. So the long-term thing, and then at the end of it, you have like a balloon messy thing. Yeah, that's not hard enough for me too. Yeah, you know, and then you have to. He punched the car, right? And then this bleeding for hours, right? Into the next morning, and somehow they made a call and they orchestrated and said, they had to link all of that together, right? Because that's literally what led to his passing, right? So we shall see, based on what the police is saying, right? Shana is listening behind by about 1 hour. She said 1. Like most people said, no, it's Sam Larry and Naira Marley. Most of you still believe that, but we shall see, you know. And if it doesn't come out that way, you would just say, well, Nigeria, we don't believe them. Let's see. That is motive, but again, I refer us back to the fact that Mohbad already gave us an alert, and it wouldn't be this messy. Yeah, well, too bad, because their business is messed up right now. It's gonna be messy like that, you know. All right, so let's leave it at that. You know, what time is it? Yeah, I'm going to leave this under 2 hours. Now to give me one last word so I can round up. I guess today's show is done. Yay. I got a bunch of videos dropping though, so check them out. Talk to me.
They should also Naira Marley and Naira Marley for us.
They should what?
You should hold them down for us. We don't trust
Hold them down because we don't believe yet. Okay, all right. I hear you.
Like you said, it's unfortunate. Honestly, Nigeria happened to him.
Yeah.
If Nigeria is not a place that promotes those kind of like medical malpractices,
Yep.
if he had gone to a well-equipped facility, they probably might be able to handle that better. And then I pray this will be a lesson.
Yeah.
All those quack nurses and doctors on the side that don't just test people. Every little thing they want to start giving injections. Every little thing they want to start giving injections. Like they're very good at doing that in Nigeria. Even with the certified ones, they do that.
Yep.
They just once you just tell them what's wrong with you, they just tell you, "Oh, I think I know what is wrong." How do you know?
Yep.
How do you know? Always test people to know. I just pray this will be a lesson, honestly speaking. I'll be a turning point. But
yes.
Nigeria,
I hope so too.
This stuff is gonna keep going on.
Yeah.
But Nigeria has failed Mohbad, honestly speaking.
Yeah.
And also, if they have tackled the issue of the complaint that he has filed about his life being at risk, I don't think he would have been scared of going to the hospital, honestly. He wouldn't have been feeling insecure in any way. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But they messed him up already. And you
Mm.
know your perpetrators, they know what they're doing, they know where to get you. And
Yeah.
Mali once said that Mohbad does not fight, doesn't know how to fight, he doesn't fight anybody. So because they know he doesn't fight, and
Mm-hmm.
they push him into the wall, telling him he's just like a woman and husband and wife fighting and says, slap me and says, beat me, beat me, and you're screaming in his face. And then
Mm.
when he touch you, like, oh, he touched me, he touched me. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So they know he does not want to act. He's not that kind of person. So they keep pushing him to the wall till he gets to this point. It's
Yeah.
really sad. We're praying for his wife, his parents, and his son.
Yep.
And
Yep. Yep.
we pray that God gives them solace, honestly speaking, because it's a very tough one.
Tough one. Tough one. Yep. Absolutely. Anyway, thank you, Natu, my G. We'll talk soon, right?
Oh, right. Oh, by the way, I saw a video of your wife. Your wife is pretty. Bye.
I saw a video of her where.
On-
Where was she?
The
But,
Instagram, they
but
were
oh, she on our personal page.
Yeah, on her personal page.
Oh, okay. I agree with you. She is pretty.
Oh my God! I said, how can one person be this fine? This is a crime.
All right, Natu. We'll talk soon,
All
okay?
right, bro.
All right, bye. All right, yeah. So this is. Let me see. Let me do a quick few updates and then we'll round off. Let's see. Wait till. Wasn't Let me see 1 second here. Let's see. Go back. Oh, okay. All right. I see what's going on. All right, good. All right, so let's do quick updates really quickly. Let me see. Seriously, Anna says, does anyone think or subscribe to the narrative that he was alive when he was buried? They did up to now, but the police is saying nah. The hospitals declared there's 2 hospitals, I don't know if you heard that part, that declared him dead by the time they brought his body to them, after the house clinical administrations, which is not a clinical administration, right? So that's debunked by police now, if you believe police, right? I'm saying that because it's Nigeria, I don't know. What about the NDLEA? Well, the NDLEA drama is, I think it was months before that is, I think the family confirmed that he was going in and out of his memory after he claimed they gave him drink. But then he also was smoking stuff with them and stuff like that. So I don't know. We don't know, right? The autopsy will probably reveal all types of other drugs in the system, if there's any, right? No one is talking about that. Did they arrest him? Who's him? NDLEA is not a him, or that's an organization. That's a government agency in Nigeria. All right. So yeah. So let's quickly. There's some quick update as we're live, and I'm gonna share directly from. I'm gonna share directly from Instablog Nigeria. Let me see here. I think I saw something here just now. Right. So we heard that when they said Sam Larry admitted to having several confrontations with Mohbad. He admitted that, but that boy does not really speak proper English, so maybe he meant just scolding him or something. I'm sure they beat him up. Okay, they probably did. Okay, but in terms of did he mean to say confrontation, or he meant words confrontation? Right, this part.
By Sam Larry and Naira Marley. During the investigation, series of allegations of bullying, threat to life, and possible complicity.
Listen, we already listened to that. I don't want to go back to that, right? But this one is an update. Internet fraud, more woes for Naira Marley as court issues production warrant against him. Okay, Justice Nicholas Owebo of the Federal High Court sitting in Ikoyi, Lagos on Friday, October 5, issued a production warrant against Nigerian singer Aziz Fashola, aka Naira Marley. If there were anything he had going on before this that were covered up because they paid people, all of them are going to be exposed right now, because nobody wants to be a part of this crazy news that's going on right now, right? So who's this? Naira Marley is being prosecuted by the EFCC, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on 11 count charges bordering on conspiracy and credit card fraud. Wahala, wow. You see? Oh, did NDLEA arrest Mohbad I think NDLEA earlier debunked that they didn't take him into custody, but I think he was arrested for a few minutes before they released him. At the resumed sitting on Friday, counsel to the defendant, Olalekan Ojo, San informed the court that the defendant was unavoidably absent from court owing to his being detained by the police interrogation in respect to the murder of Ilerioluwa Oladimeji Aloba, also known as Mohbad. Ojo therefore prayed the court for that means he's begging the court for an adjournment of the trial. So he has a case on fraudulent charges, 11 counts in court. Responding, prosecution counsel Bilikisu Buhari, however, prayed the court to issue a production warrant against the defendant. What is a production warrant? Does that mean just something documented? It's already in police custody, right? Against the defendant. Let me see. What does production warrant mean? I can learn today. I can learn something new today. Let's see. I think it's what I think, but let's see. A production warrant is a temporary order directing that an accused person or defendant be brought to court to answer to a charge. Okay, it means warrant. It just means warrant. Okay. Let's see. To ensure this presence in court on the next adjourned date, Justice Owebo granted the prayers of the prosecution counsel and issued a production warrant against the defendant. The judge further adjourned the matter till October 30th, 2023. Wait, that closed too soon. For continuation of trial. Let me see what the comments here say. Mohbad, please now. You're not joking, sir. The most dangerous person to bully is the person that have no one but God. Whatever they said he did it. Ouch. They won't use EFCC distractors. Oloribu people mentor. Una mind no go touch ground. Okay. Mohbad's spirit's too strong. Mohbad is really fighting this boy. Wouch. LOL, there can't be peace for the wicked. No way. Definitely not. Sucks that Mo is the sacrificial lamb for no Yawa. They are trying to deviate us from the main issue on ground. Some people are like, wait, why you bring that up? Can we focus? Well, we shall see. Let them finish Mohbad case before EFCC start their issue. Wahala. Another angle. Please and please, in case Naira Marley and Sam Larry are later found guilty of whatever crime linking to Mohbad's death and sent to jail, they should not be given any fine option. They should be made to face the result of their act. Okay, so clearly people want to end this cabal, right? I think that's it. I think that was it. But yay. All right, as usual, there's some kind of lessons we can learn from this, you know. Shout out to everybody that's here live. Shout out to you. Hit that like button, share, subscribe. Turn on all your notifications. You never know, I could come live like this, okay? I could come live, especially if 53 people are going to show up when I just, no announcement, nothing. I could come live anytime, okay? But hit the like button. Thank you so much. Hopefully, it's not too late to support the platform. You can put $1.99, something like that, you know, and something to just support the platform and support financially. At the very minimum, please make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Hopefully, you've been enlightened, educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.